Well, it's that time of the night. It's Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. It is the 26th of May, 2021. Hard to believe it's another week. Got my new mixing board. Hopefully you could music in the background there. It was kind of cool. Got about other things to put on there. I'm going to work on some other projects to put on that board. It's got some really cool features to it. Actually, what it can do, and I got to make sure that it's hooked up. Let's double check and make sure. Oh, it is connected. Cool. You can call me live at 1-844 and it'll ring right through to my phone. So our sponsors out there, Area 51 Coffee Company. That's Area 51, www.area51coffeeco.com. Got all kinds of cool products, more things working at it. But we a lot of different things. Oh, where'd my notes go? I got a bazillion notes that I take for each show, and some things I hit, get to, and some things I don't, and some things it's not worth it. But I did want to pay a lot of respect to Phil Mickelson. What a PGA Championship that was. Pretty cool. Glad to see him at 50 come out and best all the young kids, and just a lot of crazy things that went around with it. But, the course that they're playing was 7,800 yards. And, if you're not a golfer, you might not understand how far. That's a long course. 7,800 is a trek. If you, and it was a tough track. It's mainly what they would call a link style course. Link style doesn't have a lot of trees. It has a lot of, I guess you would call it, crap to get in your way, that you don't see, like from the tee. That's a common thing that they, like the British Open. They call it the Open Championship. We call it the British Open because our Open is the U.S. Open, of course. Nothing against the British Open, but I'm not a big fan of link style golf courses. I mean, I've played a few of them, but some people like them. I'd love to play St. Andrews once, just to say that I played the old course, or the Homo Golf. But it was really cool. Phil Mickelson's mom was texting Phil's wife, Tina Mickelson, during the last round of the event. And Phil's brother, Tim, was caddying for him. And she said, and it's funny to see the text, how they actually put the text out. And she said, for him to, don't drop bombs, don't activate your calves. And I'm like going, what the heck does that mean? So, yeah, that was kind of weird. Funny to hear a mother say that. So, yeah, she said, and his wife sent a text back to Phil's mom and says, hey, he's not listening to me. He's only going to listen to Tim. Maybe I can text him. But she wanted him just to par in so they wouldn't, wouldn't have any problems. But, that's probably one of the toughest things to do in any event like that. So let me see here if this is, I have a new video mixer. Apparently we must not have it. We must have it set up differently. So I'm going to have to mess with that. Hopefully I can get that straightened out. I want to do is, it'll be able to do is, run. I mean, I can run commercials. I can run everything and stream. I can do multiple screens. I can have when I get multiple callers, I can have those at the same time. but still working on getting everything set up. So I'm not quite there yet. But no, Phil Mickelson winning that at 50. That's so cool. But the thing that was, I loved it. The tour players were all lining up to, to congratulate him, to, tell him how great everything like that is. Well, that's cool. I think my screen just froze on Facebook Live. Nope, back up. So, you see tour players lining up. That's just ultimate respect. When you got the guys line up, and there was a ton of tweets that came out, and tweets came out from, like, I'm trying to think. It was, here's the different ones that came in. It goes, beat me by 33 shots, and I only played 2 days. John Daly. Oh, here's another one. It was Steph Curry, one of the best minds in sports. It said, well done, old man, Lee Westwood. Major respect, Ian Poulter. Young Ann said, I want to be like Phil when I'm 50. Then making history, Brooks Koepka. Brooks played the last round with Phil. And that last 9 holes was crazy, back and forth. Ernie Els said, simply brilliant. Jimmy Fallon, thumbs up. That's Phil Mickelson's kind of trademark thumbs up. Colin Morikawa, age and just a number. Harry Higgs, that was sick. Luke Donald, there's nothing like golf. Thomas Bjorn, golf is beautiful. Inspiring by Vijay Singh. Said, yep, you're still the best, Lefty. Bubba Watson. And said, what a cool moment for sport. Justin Thomas. Feel the thrill. Wow. And Billie Jean King. Head, heart, and guts. Tiger even in Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus did a video tribute to him. Tiger come out and said, he was, congratulated him how great he did. It's people don't realize how big a accomplishment at 50. I remember when Tom Watson was leading the British Open, and he come down to the last hole. He's in the middle of the fairway. All he's got to do is make par, and he's going to win it. And when he hit it over the back, he was like 6 inches from being perfect. And it went over the back of the green. He chipped it up and missed the putt and went into a playoff with Stuart Sink and lost in the British Open. I was like, and he was like 59 at the time. Yeah, Watson was just on fire that week. Everybody was rooting for Tom Watson. You can't blame Stuart Sink, for winning, but everybody was rooting for Watson. They wanted to see Watson do it at his age. It's just something that doesn't happen. Golf is a timeless sport, but as you get older, you just don't hit it as far, and you're not as, it just ends up being that those guys, the younger guys dominate that tour. Well, on the last hole, there was kind of some issues going on. Brooks Koepka and Phil were going down the fairway, and I couldn't believe it, but Brooks said that, I think I had to feel bad. What you got to feel bad when that's going on. But you got to, he's also happy that he won. But going down the last hole of the PGA, you had the fans mobbing people, and Koepka complained that he got dinged in the knee a couple times, which he just had surgery in March on his knee, and he wasn't 100%, and he was kind of gun shy about it. People, running into him. Well, they showed a video or picture actual where one fan grabs Mickelson around the collar, grabs him by his shoulder to take a selfie with him, and Mickelson elbows him in the ribs to let him go. I mean, what would you think that that's okay? I mean, I don't care what sport it is. I don't care if it's, baseball, basketball, anything. I mean, what fan thinks that they can go and put your hands on, an athlete like that? I was shocked to see the way people do that. I remember one year at the John Deere Classic, I don't think his name, I want to say Blaine McAllister. He used to play right-handed, putt left-handed. At the end of the tournament, somebody stole his putter and ran off with it. I can't remember if they ever got it back, but this is way back when it was at Oakwood Country Club in Coal Valley. Now it's at the TPC Deer Run. But, you think about that. Well, the guy that steals the putter, it's left-handed. Where are you going to go with this thing? I mean, like nowadays, it would, he'd probably get tackled by somebody. But I mean, just fans do some weird things. Like fans getting involved with, NBA players and NFL players, talking smack to them and stuff. Sooner or later, NBA players are going to, going across. Like, I still remember when, oh God, what was his name? He called him Meta World Peace. He changed his name, I don't know how many times. Went in the crowd and started beating the crap out of a fan, a young kid who had nothing to do with the incident. That kid's got to be, he had to have sued the crap out of that team, because I mean, I remember he got suspended for like a half a year because of that. He should have been done for life. I mean, you attack a fan in the stands, especially the wrong fan. But you look at, no, it wasn't Rodman. Rodman kicked the cameraman. This was they called him Meta World Peace. I don't know. If you look that up, it was I can't think of his name, but he right now the NBA was going on. NBA could not even compare in ratings to the PGA Championship with Phil Mickelson leading. But a lot of people didn't see there was after the PGA Championship, there was a video that surfaced. People heard about it, but it was Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Well, Brooks is being interviewed by the one of the Golf Channel announcers, and DeChambeau wearing regular metal spikes, but on the tours they can still wear them. Most clubs or most places are soft spike only, but he goes walking by, and if you played golf back in the day, the old metal spikes, you can hear him crunch, 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 crunch. He goes walking right behind Brooks Koepka, and it just pissed Koepka off. He actually used a little bit of profanity, and he told me, he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then he said, "I can't remember where the F we were at." He said he's cussing, and the Golf Channel announcer guy goes, "I think the boys in the booth are going to have fun with this one." I mean, I just like, he was just totally rolled his eyes. Well, somebody, of course, immediately went to Photoshop, and they Photoshopped Brooks Koepka with his eyes rolled, like, up to, and DeChambeau kissing his neck. He probably took it off when he was kissing the trophy, when they hold it up and they kiss it. Well, it looks like he's kissing Koepka's neck, and it's like, and Koepka's rolling his eyes, and it's like whoever Photoshopped it did a really good job. I thought it was funny. But people are asking for the next pairing of the U.S. Open to be Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, and Patrick Reed. And I guess Patrick Reed would be just there to stir the pot. I don't know what Patrick Reed's got the rap of being a cheater. He was in college. My dad come to me and goes, "Yeah, he was a cheater in college." I'm like, well, I said, he didn't cheat in the Masters that one year. And he goes, "No, you're right, he didn't." And I mean, I don't know if he was or not. That's the rumor. A lot of different rumors on tour, different things, Guy like who's the most least like guy who, they had rumors about Dustin Johnson years ago about different things that he'd done. And, I'm not going to get into those, but, there was, I got to give credit. I was not a big Phil fan. I mean, I didn't dislike him, but I was not in his corner fan. I am now. I thought after what he did, he went up and to a disabled young kid and, showed respect to this kid while he was during the tournament. And after the tournament, people are tweeting about how great a job. And he was actually responding and tweeting back to the people. And I thought it was kind of cool. You don't see a lot of athletes do that when they win. It's like, when, was it Hideki Mario? Oh, was it Hideki when he won the Masters? You see him with the green jacket walking through the airport. You're like, no, just sitting around like he's no big deal. A lot of these guys are taking their own private jets and stuff. They're so well off. Well, the NBA was been going on, and I just really don't like watching the NBA anymore. I used to watch it all the time, but it got a little bit too political. And LeBron has been in the news lately about how he has been, tweeting against police and stuff like that. Well, LeBron has got a lot of people, they call him LaFlop instead of LeBron LaFlop. I've watched him in 2 different games flop so bad that, it was ridiculous the one he did against Chris Paul. He acted like Chris Paul's like a foot shorter than him, and he acted like Chris Paul injured him, and he went flying onto the ground, landed on his shoulder, rolled around for, like he's majorly injured, which started another fight because people are attacking Chris Paul, thinking he really injured LeBron James. And you watch it on the replay, he barely even touched him. And then the other one last week, LeBron falls onto the ground, acts like he hits his head on the floor, and they showed it in slow motion. His head was at least 2 to 3 inches from the floor, never touched it. And he acted like he hit his head on the floor, and he's rolling around, holding his head like he really injured himself. I'm like, LeBron's a great player. There's no doubt about it. He's a great player, but he didn't need to do that. Somebody posted, and they put a picture of Michael Jordan, because everybody's trying to compare LeBron to Michael Jordan, saying how much better he is than him. And I don't think he's even in the same category. Well, they had the picture of Michael Jordan, a picture of Kobe Bryant, and they always had this thing. They'd hold the ball in front of them and lean back into the players as they were guarding them. Well, they had a picture of LeBron laying, and he's laid out on the floor on his back. And they said, oh, yeah, he is a lot like him. And I had to laugh at that because said, those 2 guys, the one thing I liked about Jordan is if Jordan got knocked down, he never complained. He just got back up, went and played again. That one series against Detroit, they beat the crap out of Jordan. They tried to injure him, and he just kept coming back. They talk about Shaq. Shaq said he was afraid to play against him because he was afraid Jordan was going to dunk on him. And you get dunked on by Jordan, immediately became a poster, on some kid's wall. Well, I was talking to some people about, crazy. They think that I never knew this, but there was a conspiracy theory out that Jordan had food poisoning because of somebody spiked his food because he ordered a pizza and nobody else ate it except for Jordan. And it was to the hotel, he ordered it delivered, and they think somebody had, poisoned his food. Well, they also were talking about another series where like 3 guys got sick because they got food poisoning. And, I never thought about that. I mean, that could be a very plausible thing to do, because what fans are so crazy. I mean, they have fans that will go to a game And if you're wearing a different jersey, they will spit on you, throw beer on you, do things. And I'm like, think about it. You're just going to watch a game. If you have that much problems in your life to throw beer, and I like to mockingly joke about, sports about, go Bears or go Cubs or whatever. And, we have people, friends of mine, that we joke about Cubs Cardinals series, back and forth. If his Cardinals beat my Cubs, he gives me crap. If I, back and forth. But they have people that will actually fight, and they've had people kill each other over because they feel like they're oh, you talk bad about my whatever Bears or my Packers or my whatever team you're for, and just stupid stuff. Most fights are stupid anyway. I mean, go outside. I'm gonna do is duke it out. Think about it. You go outside to you go fight somebody. Well, I had one guy. He come into the golf course, and he was at a bar, and he was telling me this a few years ago, and he was there, and they beat the living crap out of him and threw him out of the bar. And he went back in, and they beat the crap out of him again and threw him out. And he comes in, and he's got glue holding all the cuts on his face. And he goes, well, me and my brother, we're going back down there. We're gonna fight. And I'm like, going, why? It's obvious they don't want you there. He goes, well, we're going to go show them. And I said, think about it. You're going to go into a bar that they don't want you. I said, this is not an episode of Porky's. If everybody old enough to know what that movie was, it was about kids going into a bar that would notorious throw kids out. And they ended up, they were in cahoots with the police, if so called. But, think about it. If the bar doesn't want you there, I said, if you go back in and you beat the crap out of everyone, what are you going to win? You're going to win a heavyweight bar battle fight champion belt that you can wear around town? No, you're going to just end up in jail. Because immediately when you go in there and start beating up people, they're going to call the police. So I'm just like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And usually what happens is people drink and it comes stupid time. Yeah. Hey, I'm in stupid town right now. But Gene, all right, let me see. Gene says he went to Bears game and was wearing a Ricky Waters uniform on the 50-yard line of the Bears. So I got pummeled with snowballs. Yeah. I mean, think about it. My daughter was she was on a trip for somewhere, and they went to New York, and she was at a Yankees game, and she watched a big old fight in front of him, and a guy got knocked out or whatever. They had to take him out. I'm like, really? You're that big of a fan where you think you need to do is injure somebody? I mean, but usually alcohol's involved. Like I always said, when I was a police officer, I never fought a lot of people, or I don't remember fighting people high in marijuana. They usually want to just eat. But I have had to do is wrestle with people that have been intoxicated. They usually don't have the proper judgment at the right time, as you want to call it. But no, I was kind of surprised. I'd never heard that conspiracy theory about food poisoning. But I did see an article, and I thought it was kind of funny. Well, I don't mean funny, ironic, but I did not. This is new. Also, was they were talking about how kind of bizarre Major League Baseball injuries. Well, one of the Major League Baseball pitchers, Zach Plesac, broke his thumb removing his shirt. And I'm like, what the heck? And as one of my Taekwondo masters, you say, when I broke my hand, what do you don't drink milk or what? That's what he told me. So, that's kind of weird. I would, you just to think that you would snag it in your shirt and break your thumb. They said that, they talk about different injuries, but, says, Milwaukee Brewers after, let me see here. Adam Eaton. It says missed a few games for the Milwaukee Brewers after managing to cut his middle finger on his pitching hand with salad tongs. Well, those are old. I mean, I actually cut my hand to, it's not a very big cut, but it's like right here. And I'm like, it's one of those paper cuts. And my God, that thing is like every time you bump it on anything. So I went out and I got that new scan where you just kind of put it over. It's almost like crazy glue. Well, I did it on a cardboard box. I'm like, and pitchers, if they get kind of any kind of injury on their hand, turns into, a blister or something like that. Well, they can miss some starts from it because it just nags on. Well, yeah, speaking of nagging issues, I was talking to people about the COVID vaccine. We had discussing it, and I'd come to think of it, ever since I had the vaccine, I've noticed right after I had the second shot, I was getting a lot of nosebleeds where I had these like scabs in my nose. Every time I blow my nose, it was starting to bleed and everything. I'm like, oh, what is going on here? And people talk about, I'm not getting a shot or I'm getting a shot. I know a bunch of people that said they weren't getting it, and I went to get it because I wanted to see my dad. Well, they were talking about how when you first get it, having achy joints, different things going on. Well, the things that I've noticed since I've had it that I didn't have before it, I got where I get like a rash on my head. I can feel it at different times, and it's like a little bit sore. And I'm like, what the heck's that from? Never had that before. Of course, I said I had a bloody nose, low back pain, having that, achy joints. I have tinnitus in my left ear. And what's weird is I'm going to try to go to an acupuncturist and see if he can help me out. But I turn my head to the side, it gets louder. So people tell me that it's, I'm trying to tune in the aliens. That's what they said. Reduce smell. I can smell and taste, but what happens is when I first smell it, then the smell goes away. So I was at a class, and one of the topics of the class was we had a sergeant come in from the drug task force, and he was showing us the different drugs that are on the street right now, common drugs. He talked about them, and they're talking about like heroin and fentanyl and crack cocaine and everything. Well, he pulled out a bag of marijuana about this big, and I smelled it at first, and then I couldn't smell anymore. And everybody else is in there going, "Oh my God, put it away!" It was so strong, and I'm like, I don't smell it anymore. It was weird. So I don't know. I'll smell it for a brief second, and then it goes away. I don't know if it has anything to do with my vaccine shot, but it's weird that I notice that now. Muscle cramps. I get a lot of times. And I'm trying to do is hydrate all the time. I take from a product called Advocare. I take Rehydrate for that, and I drink that daily. And I've been getting cramps at different times throughout the day, like in my thighs, and at night I get them in my calves, my toes, and sometimes in my thighs. But it's really crazy. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and oh my God, that hurt. Those are nasty. But I did see, we've been doing quite a bit of, Iowa and, has opened back up. You see where they're A lot of the schools are allowing them to go maskless now. But I seen businesses. I saw one yesterday that said if you have had the vaccine, you can go without a mask. But that's the first one I've seen that actually had that posted. Most of them have just gone maskless. Like I go to one of these local gas stations, and they've gone maskless. Some of the employees still wear them, not all of them, but a majority of people going in and out. I mean, it's about 50-50. And somebody posted this, and it was kind of a funny topic to see was how the different stages of everybody freaking out, wanting to wear immediately went into wearing the mask. But they're like, they're talking, okay, well, coronavirus can't go over 6 feet. And you're like, and, they're just talking. It was kind of like kind of mocking the way the panic that we had. It was unreasonable panic. Like, oh, coronavirus is worse at night, or it's worse at a bar. But it's okay at, the grocery, Walmart, or it's okay for on, I'm like, they talk about, these, teachers that were, all they did during the pandemic. Well, I'll tell you what, people at the grocery store never took off. People at working at Walmart or different places, they work the whole time, and they get no recognition. So I'm glad to see it's getting, I'd say, more normal than it has been. More back to normal. We finally opened my golf shop Monday, or actually Tuesday was the first day. It was nice to finally get it back open. People can actually come in and look at stuff and browse. I mean, it was very tough, but I moved all the stuff Monday, and I'm just like, oh yeah, golf pros too. Yeah, you're right. Had almost 7,000 rounds more last year than we did the year before. That's how busy we were. I averaged 100 hours a week, and people go, no, really? No, I averaged 100 hours a week, and I'm already there this year. Not last weekend, but a couple weekends ago, I worked 31 hours just in 2 days. And people are like, what? No, I mean, you get used to it. My wife goes, up, see you in the fall. That's the way the golf business is, and you get, the one thing about it is, if you're a hourly worker and you have a 8 to 5 or whatever, or 7 to 3 or whatever it is, you watch the clock. But as a golf pro, you don't watch the clock. You don't know what day it is. If you're working 7 days a week like I do, you have 7 Mondays. Every day is a little bit different. But I mean, when it's busy, yeah. I did want to talk about there was had a local shooting here. Locust in Iowa, which is about from me right now would be, it's real close to my dad. Probably about, I grew up right in that area. Probably about 5-6 blocks from my dad's house, maybe. It's about 2 blocks from where I teach Taekwondo. And I was there later that night. But it was like, it was early afternoon, probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, maybe a little later, 3:30. Well, I don't know what the shooting was over. All I know is a 14-year-old kid got shot. he was riding in a car and the bullet grazed, I guess, his cheek and hit his ear where he had to go in for surgery. Lucky that it didn't hit him in the head. I mean, I'm talking about and kill him. I got to consider himself very lucky for that to happen, for him not to get injured like that. Amazing. Well, a kid out in California, not so lucky, riding in his car with his mom, single mother. Boy's like, I don't want to say 5 or 7, maybe 7, 8 years old, something like that. I'm not exactly sure how old he was. Apparently, I don't know if they cut the mother off or the mother cut them off. And I don't know if she flipped them off or whatever. Well, the people were behind, took one shot at Lay's car. I guess it was one. It could have been more. The bullet went through the back of the car, and it struck the kid in the back and went into his abdomen or whatever. The little kid said, "Mom, my stomach hurts real bad." Well, she pulled over and they called 911. The kid died before they got him to the hospital over a road rage incident. And think about that. You're going to shoot somebody because somebody flipped you off or whatever it was. I don't care what they did. They cut you off. You think that you should be able to end somebody's life over something as stupid as cutting you off or you cutting them off. You see people that drive, I mainly drive the speed limit because it times all the traffic lights most of the time. Sometimes they're off, of course, but a lot of times you'll time the traffic lights where they change for you if the traffic's not bad. But you see these guys, I wouldn't say guys, people, because it's both guys and gals, that will go by you and drive like 50 miles an hour in a 35 because they're pissed off, and they whip around you and they look at you like, what the hell is your problem? And they get up to the next light and you pull right up next to them. And right as the light changes and starts to go green and you go again, and they go bat out of hell to the next light. And then they wonder why they get pulled over sometime. And it's the officer's fault because they pulled them over. They single them out because you're a crappy driver. If I would go back and write tickets to people like that. I mean, people are idiots. You see people driving all the time doing stupid stuff. This is about, 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I'm on my way to work. I turn the corner. There are 4 police cars across the road with a person doing a felony stop on somebody. And I'm like, oops. I turned and went off and I said, I'm going to go around. And I gave him a wide berth. People are driving around in the opposite lane, pulling back in front. I said, if a shooting happens, you could get shot. They're that stupid. They want to drive by. What's going on? I got to get involved and see what's going on. It's like they said, remove the warning labels and just let everybody go. I mean, and see who survives. I mean, a lot of stuff when we were kids didn't have warning labels on it because you knew better than to do it. Your parents told you, hey, don't do that. And you went, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Nowadays, you got to put warning labels on everything because people will eat. I mean, they eating Tide Pods. Who the hell would eat a Tide Pod? Not me. Oh, my kids ate dog food as a kid. I couldn't they'd be little kids that were going around in the bowl and they'd eat I was like, really? And my one son thought the bacon strips, the beef jerky or the whatever was beef jerky. So he would eat that. And I'm like, oh, well, It is what it is. You can't fix stupid. That's correct. But you see, I guess you see it all the time. People doing dumb stuff all the time, and it's constant. And you're like going, how do you survive? You hear about all these. I mean, look at Ridiculous. You see the show Ridiculousness. I cringe at some of the things they do because like jumping off the roof, trying to jump into a pool and they don't make it, or jumping off well, what's the one? Jackass made it popular to go hurt yourself and do stupid things. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Knoxville. I mean, a lot of them are funny, but my God, some of the things they did. One of my favorite was the boxing glove where they knock you out through the wall. I mean, that was just hilarious. But people will go do that, and you're just like, go jump. I mean, you see it all the time, jumping off of buildings to land on a table, and they miss. I'm like, what's your body going to feel like when it's 50? Yeah, Johnny Knoxville's hilarious, and Wee Man. But the one that gets me is, oh God, what's his name? He put a tattoo of himself on his back or something like that. He put a leech on his eye, and I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, they do some crazy things. Oh, Bad Grandpa. When he got going to try to drive the moped. Oh, yeah, it's just some of the things that happen, you just like. And then I asked my nephew over the weekend. I said, they were talking about older movies that, just classics. And I turned to him and I said, have you seen Caddyshack? And he goes, yeah, Steve-O, that's who it is. Yeah, Steve-O, that's right. But he goes, have you seen Caddyshack? And he goes, no. And I went, what? I said, you've never seen Caddyshack? And I said, oh my God. I like, seriously. I seen it hundreds of times. I could almost quote the whole movie to you. My favorite line in the movie is about $50 says the Schmelz kid picks his nose. Another 50 says he eats it. It's just hilarious. It just stupid stuff like that. It was just a classic. I love the Caddy Day 1 to 115, where they go in the pool and just destroy the pool in 5 minutes. Yeah, it's just it's just one of those movies that is a timeless classic. You look at movies over the years. Some good golf movies, but not a lot of good. Get dressed. You're playing golf today, yeah. Or Ty, when he says, "My dad didn't like you." Yeah. Spalding, yeah. And Dr. Beeper's 9/11, he throws up in it. Yeah. So, I mean, not a lot of golf movies out there like Tin Cup. I had a buddy of mine. We worked together as police officers down in Texas. He was notorious for telling you the ending of movies. And so I'd never seen it. Well, I was visiting a friend of mine down there, and his name was Omar, and he says, we're watching the movie, and I got up to go to the bathroom, and he goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. He goes, this important part of the movie. And I said, oh yeah, I already know what happens. He goes, what do you mean you know what happened? And he goes, no. He goes, Hodge. I go, yep. I go, he told me what happened. And he goes, and so I said to him, I go, I can't believe you told me, that important part. He goes, well, it wasn't that important part of the movie. I go, no, it was the most important part of the movie. when he hits in the water, I don't know how many times, and he was asking me what the penalty would be and all this, and I'm like, what are you talking? And I already knew what the ending was. We always just joke, say, "Here, give me some popcorn. You tell me the whole movie." Like guys that you our superintendent, he was. It was a score. I want to say it was Iowa State or something like that. He had not heard the score. He did not want to know. He was like avoiding TV, radio all day long because he had recorded it. He wanted to go home and watch the game. And he's like, he's like, walking into the house, and he's like, yeah. And they were re-roofing the house across the street, and he hears on the radio, biggest upset, unbelievable. Iowa State comes back and beats, and he's like, he's walking in the door. And he's like, I got that close, to watching it, and he got it ruined. It's like the one year, this is way back. Greg Norman was playing a match play, and it was just him, and I can't remember who he's playing. And my wife says, and I'd recorded, I'm going to watch it. And he goes, I want to let you know, Greg Norman doesn't win. And I went like this, and I just slapped my head, and it was they used to call it the Anderson Consulting match play. They were down to 2 golfers left. And so I said, thanks. I said, you just ruined the whole tournament. And she's like, what? I just wanted you to know that I watched it. And I was like, really? And she goes, well, they're all the other players they're playing. I said, no, they're all done. There's only 2 players left. It was either Norman or the other guy could have won. And she was like, oh, sorry. I just had to laugh, I was like, thanks. Well, that ruined that tournament, but that's many years back. I was listening to one of the radio programs on in the morning, and they have to do a segment. And no, I'm not going to do this segment in my show, but they do a segment called the Second Date Update. And this girl could not figure out why this guy had changed in the middle of the date and went total cold and everything. And just his personality changed towards her. Well, they're out eating, and she didn't know why. And so they called the radio station called the guy, and the guy's talking to, and found out that the guy, when they went out to eat, she ordered surf and turf, steak and lobster. So she's eating lobster, and she didn't know it, had no idea of knowing it. The guy had 2 pet lobsters at home, and he thought the one looked just like, I don't think they all look alike to me, but he thought the one looked like one of his pet lobsters that she was eating, and he was so upset that she was eating lobster, and she had no idea what was going on. And so he wouldn't call her back and all this. And my wife says, well, at least she found out that he's a nut before they started dating very long. I said, I know, it took me 31 years. And she goes, yeah, right. like that. So when the longer you're married, you can get away with stuff like that. You start talking to each other, joking. And no, that was serious. That was on this morning, or actually yesterday morning. But yeah, it's crazy. Some of the things I would not want to have to date in this climate right now with all the stuff going on. They were talking about people kissing through masks and stuff like that. That's like wiping your ass with your pants on. I'm sorry. Really. I don't know. Yeah, 35 years. Congratulations, Gene. That's awesome. I'm 30, going to be 32. My dad was able to, before my mom died, they celebrated their 62nd. They did 62 years married. You don't hear about that anymore. You don't hear about 30 plus years, people getting, being married. My niece married her husband. They were down celebrating in Mexico, down in somewhere. I can't remember the island name that they're at. It was 26 years. Yes, I'm 31. Same woman. And they were 26 years, and they were celebrating his 50th birthday, and he died of a massive heart attack. I just blew my mind when I got that text. Yeah, his visitation is tomorrow. It took him like 3 or 4 weeks to get the body back. Mark was such a nice guy, great guy. One of those guys that, you just, when you meet him, you really relax, talk about anything, talk about sports, love the Bears. I was a Bears, I am a Bears fan. He was a Bears fan. I mean, it was great to, just easy to get along with. I just sad. His wife, Kate, my niece, I love her to death. You think about, okay, well, I got, I'm going to live to I'm 80 or 90 or whatever. You never know. You don't know when your time is. So I always say, try to treat people the way you want to be treated. There's times you're going to run into people that you don't want to act that way to. There's times that people act that way to you. And what do? They come into like I said to a lady tonight, I said, why do people come to the golf course perpetually pissed off? You know that? And I don't know what it is. Some people walk in and they have an attitude that they're mad. And I'm like, what are you mad about? I mean, they're mad when they walk in the door. I'm like, if it's not fun, why do it? I want people to play golf, but they seem like it's like they come out, they want to get started and they want to be done. And I'm like, you don't enjoy the round at all. You don't sit back and look at the beauty of the golf course. You're just like, they want to start, they want to play, they want to be done. And if they don't play in 3 hours, it's not worth it. I'm like, or if it takes them 4 hours, I'm like, me, when I'm out playing when I rarely play, I played 1 round of golf last year as a golf pro. That's how busy we were. When I did have a chance to play golf, that's the last thing you want to do. It's like a plumber fixing his own sink. But when you get so busy, people, when they have a chance to play, when I do have a chance to play, and I'm out with 4 guys or 3 guys and we're playing, and, we like to talk and just BS, and, we play blocks when you're waiting for the group ahead. And people who don't know what blocks are, it's like croquet. It's like golf croquet on the tee. Trying to do is, just kill time and talk about things. And the one thing I like about golf is for it's a great business tool for business people, because they sit there and they have the person that you're trying to do business with for 4 hours or more. It could be more. And you can discuss. It's not a pressure to do it, talk about your business in 30 minutes or whatever, get done so you can go on to the next blah, 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 blah. Yeah, everybody thinks golf pros play every day, and that's not even close. Like I had one tonight. He called to set up a tee time for Sunday morning. And he said, are you still doing there at this time of night? I said, this is every night. I said, Steve, I'm here all the time. And I said, and I'll be here Sunday morning when you check in. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. I said, like today, I worked 13 hours today. I left at 9:30 at night and got there at 8:30 in the morning. And just to tell you, we had no carts today because it was too wet. And I still worked 13 hours. We had no carts, no range because it was too wet for our range to pick it and too wet for carts to go out. We had over an inch of rain last night, and they're talking about raining all day tomorrow. But there's always something to do. There's so many things that I can do throughout the day, that you rack up the hours. You don't even think about them. And I was like looking at my watch going, holy crap, it's 9:30. I got to do a show in 30 minutes. So, yeah, it will, if you like to play a lot of golf, become a golfing professional, not a professional golfer. That's what I taught. I said, there's a difference. I'm already setting up programs for high school golfers for next year to teach them all summer long to work with them. At the high school level, trying to get them to become better players for when they play, high school and then go on to, if they might go to collegiate golf. Then you start getting your outings, June, July, and August. You're your big time for outings. There's so much stuff going on. I get new clubs, just got them. They still got the wrapper on them. Everybody laughs. They always joke that I have the condoms still on them. And I'm like, I don't know when they're coming off, I really don't. But people pick them up. They go, wow, these are really nice. I said, yeah, they haven't been hit yet. Said, are you going to keep them? I said, I don't know. I do is I'm on the Callaway staff. I just send them back at the end of the year. They're just demos, and I just send them back and get credit for them. So, but I haven't found a set that they're flat blades, and everybody goes, I can't hit these. I go, yeah, you can. You just have to work at them. That's what I like about playing blades. Everybody goes, well, why do you play blades? And I said, because you have to do is practice to be able to hit them good. You can't hit a miss hit and get the same feel. I used to do as the kids, just to mess with them, I'd say when they're getting big for their britches, the ones that work for me, the good, the high schooler or the college players, and I do is go here. I give them a blade 1-iron. Looks like a butter knife. Here you go. I got an old Hogan blade 1-iron. I go, here, go hit balls off the tee. And they're like, off a tee? No, off the first tee. I go, hit it off the ground. And they're like, I'm not going to be able to get it airborne. Yes, you can. But with that confidence, you won't. It's like hitting driver off the ground. A lot of people think that they can't do it. And they go, what are you hitting? You're going to hit driver off the ground? Oh, my God, that's amazing. No. Anybody can do it. They just have the confidence to be able to do it. You look at people as I wouldn't say bad golfers, but golfers that have trouble hitting certain shots. They've automatically told themselves they can't do it. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, I can't hit that club. Well, why not? I don't think it's that hard. I hit driver up the fairway, a lot of times if I have to. But people train themselves that they can't do it. Oh, I can't do that. You get to people that are playing good, and they made a certain amateur. They get to a certain maybe they get like 1 or 2 under par, and they go, oh no, I got to get to the clubhouse. They're immediately trying to get to the clubhouse to get in because they've never been playing that well. That's the thing is, people will panic when and all it is a number. What does it mean? Anything different? It's together. Why does it put pressure on ourselves? We do it on ourselves. It's like in Taekwondo, I see older people that get into Taekwondo, and I don't mean old people, but older people that, why do you do anything that you do? Why do you, like, if somebody's a bowler, if they're a tennis player, if they like to jog or what, do that, or they're softball or, whatever it is. Why do they do that? Because they're good at it. If you're bad at something and really bad at it, odds are you, as an older adult, you don't keep doing it. You look at these young kids. Somebody brought up the conversation today. We got into it. Young kids, as they are growing up, they're playing video games. You buy them a video game, they play it, and they play it, lose, play it, lose, play it, lose, play it, lose, play it, win, play it, win, 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 win. They dominate it. They play every aspect of the game. They totally dominate the game. And then they go, hey, can I get another game? They're not afraid to fail. And when they fail, they just don't even look at it, and they go right back and win until they win. And that's the mindset you have to have with golf. You can tell yourself, anybody can do it. You have to do is have the mindset that I can do it. Once you start out and say, well, I can't do that, I can never hit that. Yes, you can, if you put the right mindset. We were talking about how the F-22 Raptor, it's a plane. They have people learning out how to fly them. It took them forever to how to fly them. What they did on the simulator, they stuck kids from 10, 12, 13-year-old kids in the simulator by themselves, did not tell them how to do anything, nothing. Within 15, 20 minutes, these kids are flying the planes, shooting down aircraft. Simulated aircraft, not real aircraft, of course. But they learn how to get the plane off the ground, do everything with no training at all. Why? Because they weren't afraid of failing. They kept doing it and doing. We're an adult. Oh my God, I could crash this thing, whatever. It's simulated, so it's not real. When they got done, they were telling the people that designed the simulator and designed the planes where to put the controls, what to do, how to do this and everything. And the people that were that build it were telling them, taking it all in and writing it down. And because the reason why is they are going to be the future pilots. They're going to fly these actual jets. You look at, I invited, whether she'll ever come on my show or not, but I invited Paige Spiranac. She was making a complaint about how she was treated at the golf courses she plays. There's a lot of guys that are, I'd say, I'm going to say it, they're dicks. They think women shouldn't be on the golf course. I have a huge multiple ladies leagues at the golf course. And I'll tell you what, I'd much rather do with the ladies than the guy. Most of the guys, the ladies are great at where I'm at. They are easier to talk to than the guys. They will actually come in and talk and I mean, I have, like tonight, Wednesday night, 3 ladies leagues on Wednesday night. They go from little after 4 to 6. I had no cards today, and I had 27 or 29 of them play tonight, all walking. That's pretty good. I had on Thursday mornings, I have almost 100 ladies in our ladies league. We have a 18-hole group and a 9-hole group, and they go back to back. They go from 7 o'clock in the morning in June to almost 11, 4 hours. I mean, and I know almost every one of them by name, and I mean, where I can, converse with them by name. That's how nice a ladies they are, that they know me well enough. I've been there 21 years. Most of them I've known for almost 20 or 21 years there, and talk to them and everything. I mean, I know about them. I mean, they're just the guys. Most of the guys don't do that. They won't come in and talk to you. You know, I do have a lot of them that, well, I know them by name, but yeah, I mean, it's just the ladies are more personable. I work with help with their handicaps. I do their tournaments. I, assist them. And one of the guys in one of the other leagues goes, well, why don't you do that for us, Matt? And I said, because you're not very nice. And he just started laughing. I said, the ladies are nice and they asked me to do it. And I said, you guys have never asked me, and they are more organized than you guys are. You got to say they are more organized. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it for them too, if they organized enough to where they wanted to do an event. So, no, it's amazing how many people they laugh at, because I recognize their voice on the phone. I know when they come out most of the time what they're going to play, whether they're walking or riding, or what they drink, what they're going to do. Yeah, it's just amazing. And people look at me like I'll call them out, like they'll walk up and they go, what's his name? What's his name? I mean, rather than asking the person, because they want me to tell them. So, yeah, it's a great job. Has good perks and bad perks for it. Everybody thinks that you're a golfer. You play golf all the time. You play golf for a living. I wish that was true. I wish I could. I just haven't found anybody that's stupid enough to pay me to play golf every day. I want to be like that people that hit the lottery. You hear the guy won $500 million somewhere. I can't remember where it was at, but 500 million. Give me a break. There's people that won 38 million. They know they bought the ticket and they washed it in their laundry. How pissed off you gotta be to wash away 38 million. Wow. That's crazy. As we speak, and I don't know how anything will ever happen of it, but I always like to talk about see on the top, the conspiracy theory. We talk about UFO activity, stuff like that. I got to do it's opposite of what I'm talking about. So I got to go point the opposite direction. UFO. Oops. You got to go over here. Aliens, like that, paranormal. But we're actually, my daughter and I were going to go see Teresa Caputo live. She's what do you call it? She spiritually talks to dead people. So that'd be interesting. Well, I'll have to talk about that. That'll be this. But no, election audits are going on right now in Arizona and Georgia for the past election. About Maricopa County in Arizona, and right now they just opened up for election ballot audit in Georgia. I don't care who you say won. I don't care if it changes anything or whatever. I have a hard time understanding that Joe Biden got as many votes as he did, 80 some million votes, when if you looked at when the votes were coming in, the statistical anomaly, abnormalities, if you want to say, of the way the vote came in, where it's like an arc and it goes like this, and then all of a sudden at the last second, let me see if I can, they were showing it on a piece it was on screen. It was a graphic. I don't actually have any graphics right now to be able to do it, but they were running kind of like this together. I don't know if you can see that. Probably too bright, but I don't have my Sharpie. Oh yes, I do. I found it. So here. So you look at these two, and they're running like this, and they're running pretty close to each other, and then all of a sudden, Joe Biden goes whoop and does this number, and all of a sudden just rockets up, and I'm like, how the heck could that be possible? That's something that just wouldn't seem to happen. Well, I just find it hard to believe that he got that many more votes than Barack Obama. I thought Barack Obama was a charismatic guy. I mean, he was that swift car salesman, He was able to talk to people, everybody. I mean, these people still love him to death. They think he walks on water. And I don't think Joe Biden had the following. And I found it hard to believe, he's my president. I got to call him that. But I just was like, I thought there was some weird stuff. I don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with it. I mean, but the thing about it is they did everything they could to try to get him out. I mean, I don't like listening to Trump talk, but I mean, I don't like to get into politics too much, but I think the economy was a heck of a lot better. We're at the lowest unemployment rate ever. Yeah, right now it's you can't get people. They're paying people to stay off work, and you cannot get. There's so many jobs out there. People tell me, and nobody will go in for them because they were getting paid more to stay at home. Well, all right. We want to do is I got to mention our sponsor. I'm going to play my commercial for my sponsor. It's Area 51. Here it goes.
You have reached Area 51 Coffee Company. All of the alien creatures here have been abducted. If you are looking to order coffee, go to www.area51coffeeco.com or dial 0 and leave a message.
Oh no, they really are real. Yep, it's www.area51coffeeco.com. Order some coffee. I think you'll enjoy it. We've been an hour and 15 minutes. Hard to believe it's been that long. And I didn't even start talking about aliens. You laugh and talk about that. Well, it's been in the news like crazy. But there was one that was in there, was a whistleblower that he was the one that actually broke some of the stuff like that, where they're doing discredit campaign against them. But that's how it usually comes out. You have somebody that whistleblows on whatever topic it is, and then they try to do is put them down, saying that, oh, this guy's an idiot. $25 into $25, he can't get any. $25 an hour, and he can't get anybody. That's crazy. $25 an hour. Yeah. You talk about, aliens and stuff like that. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if they just are drip feeding in us. Just one day, all of a sudden, it's going to go blip, and there it is, and you're going to see one kind of like Paul, it's probing time. I've been watching also it was on last night. I didn't get to see it, but it's Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. pretty interesting show. I haven't seen really anything yet. It's kind of like watching The Curse of Oak Island. You keep watching them digging. Oh my God, here's a rock. Well, that looks like a rock. It looks like something could have been a tool. I'm like, really? Find something, show me something. It's like the ghost hunting shows. Oh my God. These guys are into ghost hunting and they hear a ghost whisper, and then, oh my God, they're like, holy crap, I heard a whisper. You heard a bazillion, that freaks you out. You think you should be used to that by now. Now, if something flies up and hits you, maybe that's a different story. I've had, and I got it now that I got my new vMix software. Next week, I'll set that up. I will try to play the actual ghost video that we had. I haven't noticed it in a while, but at Duck Creek at the golf course. It's an apparition. We got it on camera and it walks right through the building. It's crazy. I've had everything happen to me, from being pushed, having an arm go, hand go up or whatever, feeling brush against me. I've had things moved. I've had heard noises. When you're in there by yourself, it's really creepy because there is all kinds of noises going on and unexplained. You're like, I've had apparitions go through the building while I'm in there, or dark masses, as you think. It's just crazy. It really kind of freaks you out. I got one friend of mine who works there, works for me. He tells me, he goes, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to be in there by yourself. You're kind of like counting up the money or whatever for the night. And all of a sudden you're like hearing things across the hall that you should not be hearing. And it's like knocking and, just weird stuff. Well, we've had so many instances of paranormal stuff. Had one where it actually selected a video on the screen when we asked it to play. It was crazy. She ran out of the building. She said, F that, and jumped up and ran out of the building. And 2 weeks later, she quit. Some crazy. There were 3 of us that witnessed it. And I always think that it's some of the guys that work there coming back to mess with me. One friend of mine, he passed away this year, or actually October, of COVID. He was just a great guy. And I used to call him my angry lawn gnome. He was not a very big guy, just a little guy. And he used to always bitch about everything. It was just so funny. And it was a comical bitching where he was like always almost like that George Costanza mad, where he's always mad at everything and complaining about everybody. And he's just so funny because I just feed him crap and he'd feed me crap back. And, I miss him to death because he was just a great guy. And he was in his 70s when he passed away, and it's just too young. It's just, he told me if I die, I'm coming back to haunt you. And I honestly think he will. He'll probably get kicked in the shin tomorrow because of him. But I've had doors held shut on me. It's crazy things that happen. I've had stuff fly off the walls. And I don't know if they're just trying to get your attention or what, but all kinds of different things that have happened. And people go, yeah. No, I'm serious. I have seen things at the golf course and heard things at the golf course that they're crazy. I've shown that video to tons of people, and some people go, oh, that's a lady walking or whatever. They pick out the, almost pick out the body out of it, and there was a cat that was walking outside alongside the building at the time when it happened. And the cat, when you see it, maybe Jack Fleck. Yeah. You think about that. And, he would be perpetually pissed, that that they would be doing, because when they redid the clubhouse, he was not happy. He was not happy with the city because he didn't feel they did enough for him. I don't know why exactly he was so mad. My dad would know, but he actually, I guess, John Deere Classic, or wasn't it John Deere? It was TPC Deere Run, wanted to put his name on one of the holes, the signature holes, and he said no, because the reason why, he was a golf course designer, and he was mad that they didn't come and ask him to help design the golf course. You know, a lot of, it's like Jack was a great player, and he asked Wilson if he could have a club named after him, and they told him no, 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 no. And what did he do? He goes on that same year to win the U.S. Open. He beats Ben Hogan in a playoff to win the U.S. Open, 55 U.S. Open. And Wilson come back and had enough guts to come back and say, yeah, we really got egg on our face now, don't we? Because back then, Jack was as big a name as you could get. That was David and Goliath. He was slaying Goliath, that's how big a name Hogan was at the time. And for Jack Fleck to beat him, and I've only met Jack a few times. I was so young, but to watch him swing and hit a golf ball was amazing. So I remember he come out with his caddy, and this is like in the late 70s, and he come out to Duck Creek, come back to where he was a pro. He was a pro at where I am now. And to see him come out there, and you're just like, I always joked with one of the guys. He's passed away now. Great guy. But I always told him I was that little snot-nosed kid that grew up to be your boss. And he laughed about it. But yeah, we had some great, I always talk about people go, okay, this guy's weird, but he's our weird. You get so many people that are, it's like, you ever seen the movie or the show Cheers, and you see, that all the people that had different quirks and they come there. Every golf course has them. And that's the beauty of it all. You get people that come there that are your people that hang there because they come to see your golf course, see you, be involved in that. And I think that's so cool. You get to know people over time, and they come back because they want to see you or whatever, and that's what's so nice about, working with a lot of people. I had a guy stop in today. I haven't seen him in, all winter because, COVID, was all worried about. He stopped in today and saw me. So that's cool. Yeah. Norm on Cheers. We have a ton of Norms, that people we know that they make it like a little community. You over time, everybody. So, and now they're getting to the younger crew, but guys they already know me, the young guys, and they're already, they're playing all the time. And I love it that the guys are back to playing again. Golf was on a downward swing until COVID. COVID has really put a shot, gave it a shot in the arm to get back, a lot of people playing again. Reason why they, golfers enjoyed it. Be a fun competition. This summer, we plan on having Cosmic Driving Range. If you don't know what Cosmic Driving Range is, you can look it up. Go to cosmicdrivinrange.com. We're going to have it at Duck Creek. It's like almost like a miniature version of Top Golf, where you go there, you got lit up targets, the golf balls glow, they lit up in the air. We have all the lights down, and they look like tracers flying through the air. Our picker cart has a target on top it. He just drives around, picks up golf balls, and it's really actually pretty cool to see. Fun time. Got music going, got, food in the clubhouse. So yeah, it's a great time. We're going to probably do it sometime starting in June, get everything set up. June, July, and August. Fun time for, family and kids. More of the family. It's getting awful late for kids to be out late, because you don't start until dark. But yeah, it's pretty cool. We're gonna be having that going on this summer, so that'll be fun. All right, well, it is almost an hour and a half. We're gonna call it a night. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I enjoy the conversation. I enjoy put my 2 cents in to see what people think, and I love the interaction. If you have any questions, whatever, feel free to email me, or call in sometime. But everybody have a great night. I like to say, if you see something, say something. Afraid to call in, and you see somebody going through cars, doing something wrong, call it in. Better safe than sorry. Like I said, if you don't have anything nice to say about somebody, have a couple cups of coffee, then say it. So, but have a great night, great weekend. Hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. This is the weekend for the Quad Amateur. Good luck for Ron and Emice in his Quad Amateur tournament. I hope that everything goes good for him. Good luck for all the players. But Monday, Memorial Day, it's a special day. I'll be remembering my mom. My mom's passed away a little over 2.5 years now. And, man, I miss her every day. Yeah, she was the best. So remember, great night, great weekend. Be safe. See y'all.